Greetings, badasses. How goes it in your world? All I can do is hope you live in a society that knows better. Ah, there's one thing you can count on. Americans love money more than they love women. They hate. Let's see, what else do they hate? They hate equality. Oh, I want to say the great white hope. Is that slanderous? Maybe. I can only imagine how ridiculous that this all looks to the rest of the world. Although I can say there are probably a good deal of. There's probably some. Can they dance? There's a good deal. I bet the Middle East is jumping up and down at the hypocrisy and absolute meltdown that is happening. Well. You know what? Here's what we're going to talk about. What I'm going to talk about. There's it's spring. Spring is coming. Let's see. What else? There are buds on the trees. There are, I don't know. I'm trying to think of some other good things. Oh, you know what happened? Here's what happened. I went to the nursery yesterday. The flower plant nursery. I'm listening to Viniyoga playlist B on the Viniyoga at Spotify to get some potting soil for pots. I'm doing some of these little things to my little baby tractor was under the weather yesterday, so I had to shift outdoor jobs, right? And so because it wasn't windy, and if it's not windy, I have to be outside getting stuff done. We are going to work some hip and low back stuff today. That being said, sorry. I went to the nursery to get some potting soil. I'm going to drag all my pots out and set them all up and wash them. And I was going to get some soil pep and get them all ready, right? For June. I can't do anything until June out here because it's definitely going to freeze. That being said, I don't know if any of you are outdoor people. I'm not a gardener, not yet. Far cry from it. But I went into the nursery and it was like just a wave of, the only thing I can say is euphoria overtook me. And I just kind of wandered around and, my brain started getting ahead of itself because I can't plant anything here until June. And so it just started bubbling out of me. It was just, it was a trip. It was a trip. And everybody was so happy. All the nursery folk were, hey, how's it going? We're doing this, we're doing that. Isn't it so great? And yay, woo. And the weather was, it was just a good vibe. That's the best I can say. And since I was at the nursery, I stopped and got Chinese food, which I think my dad always loves. And, I'm like, ooh. I was just like, ooh, I've got all these plans and I'm so excited and I can't wait. And I'm going to do another treat and I got fertilizer, and I can fertilize and blah, blah, blah. Can get my plants going for this, growing season. Yay! And then an acquaintance of mine texted me about the whole SAVE Act, which is really just the next step, right, to preventing women and other marginalized groups from voting. And I was like a chocolate souffle. I just went like all of that enjoyment and joy of feeling of the sun, and it was warm and blah, 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 blah. And it just bummed me out because I have been on a very light news diet. And I'm sorry, I'm going on a rant. What pisses me off about this whole thing is that, a few weeks ago, I was all over this. Like, I was hot. I was angry. I was posting about it. I was trying, I was doing what I can. I was writing letters. I was making the phone calls because it's utter crap. There's no voter fraud in this country. There's no voter fraud in this country. It's minuscule. It's like 0.0004 percentages, and they said like half of that 0.0004 is like error, right? There's no voter fraud in this country. But they're going to do it, and they're going to prevent. And all it's going to do is prevent people from voting, which is what they want. So, yeah, it's all going down. Let's do this. Sorry, I didn't mean to go so dark, but yeah, it was. Oh, here's what I was going to say, and this is how I know that people love money in this country more than they love humanity. Everybody was talking about the tariffs. Everybody was talking about the stock market. Everybody was talking about trade. And there was not one single solitary news story about the upcoming SAVE Act. Not one. So they want money. What they perceive they can get, the wealth that they're never going to have, more than they have empathy for human beings and want freedom. So those of you, I have two, I think I have 2 in Australia. I have 1 maybe in France. Anyway, your disdain for America, not that I ever argued with it, is so well-founded. Let's do this. Woohoo! Go, 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 go. We're hips and low back today. Hips and low back. So on that note, we're going to start on our backs. I'm sorry. Let's talk about Viniyoga for another minute. I should just delete all this. I don't know. I haven't. It's so frustrating. Viniyoga is all about the breathing. And you know what? I can talk about this while we lay down. Let's get on our backs. It's all about the breath, and I call it an ocean swelling breath. And actually, that will be a lot more noticeable as we work on our backs than when we're doing this seated, because you'll actually get the sensation of your body moving, your lungs moving. It's a little chilly in here, so I'm going to keep my flannel shirt on for a bit. I'm also, whatever. Okay. Let's talk about it. I'm on my back. Got my feet at a reasonable position apart. And you know what? Are we going to do this one? Are we going to do this one? We're going to do this one because this one involves some stuff. I'm going to do a combo platter. And I need my glasses because I can't see. Oh, So I'm just in a what I'm going to call a neutral position here, right? My feet are at a comfortable distance apart. We're going to start our breathing. We're going to work some Apanasana. Then we'll do some pelvic tilts. We're going to run into 3 variations. We're going to do some 3 versions of bridge and some frog and dead bug and some other things. All right. Work on our hips and low back. So just find a relaxed place to rest your arms. But I will say that this is a great position to get the hang of this breathing rhythm. I'm going to call it a rhythm, right? So we exhale all the air out of our lungs. Oh no, let's do this. Sorry, I totally skipped ahead. Pulling our attention and awareness from the external to the internal. Taking a moment to scan the body, checking in. State and quality of the physical form. How are you feeling today physically? What have you been doing the last few days? What are you heading out to do? And how is that playing out on your body? What are you feeling? I'm feeling a little right here and a little right there, hence the hips and back. Pulling that attention and awareness into the state and quality of your thinking. And of course, I'm just a hot jumble of a mess. My pot is boiling over. So I want to notice, I'm just going to take I'm going to offer my awareness, my focus to all of those things that are bouncing around, out of control, spilling over, messing up the stove. And now I'm going to slowly release them. I want to slide them off to the side and create a nice, clear, open field of thought. We have to nurture our fox, right? We cannot stay. This is my lesson for the last 3 months, 4 months, is that we cannot keep the stove on at high heat always, right? Because we're going to just, shit's going to burn, scald, get stuck. We're going to ruin a pan. So I don't know where that cooking metaphor came from, but apparently I'm out on it. So we want to slide all of those things for the side. And this is our time for this next 45 minutes, right? Hour, to give ourselves a break, a breather. We want to recharge our batteries. And then let's move that silence into the awareness of our breath. Now, traditionally in yoga, we breathe into and out of our noses. You might be experiencing some springtime allergies. It's been dusty. I was outside all day yesterday. And so, I'm reaping the consequences of that. I need to take an allergy pill. Maybe you're getting over a virus. They're still going around, some pretty nasty ones. So your sinuses might not be in a great position, for breathing through your nose. So just breathe. But we're going to draw a breath into the chest and draw it then into the space under the ribs. And then imagine filling the space of the belly down toward the pelvic floor. And as we exhale, we start in this low belly. We release the ribs, and then we release the chest and shoulders. And I find that as we breathe in this position, especially on our backs, you can get this sensation of that ocean swelling rhythm, physicality, right? Movement, I suppose. It's not a rhythm, it's movement. And just find that long, balanced breath. So, with our next exhale, nope, I lied. As we take our inhale, I want you just to tilt up into a pelvic tilt. I'm pushing into the heels, and I'm just going to round my hips off the mat to the waistband. And as I exhale, I am going to release those hips, that pelvic cradle. Again. We're going to do 4 more of those. Two more. Last one. We're going to move right into Apanasana. Inhaling, bring the left knee into the left hand. Exhale, draw the left knee toward the body, push into the right foot. And now add that little pelvic curl that we just did. Inhaling, release. Now the breathing in this pelvic curl is opposite than we just, right? Because we're exhaling, drawing in. That's all right. I'm going to do 3 more. Take those hands over the top of that knee, draw it a little tighter. And we're going to hold here and take 4 ocean swelling breaths as best as we can. It's hard to breathe, right? When we're collapsed up against the body. And release that leg down. Let's just take 3 or 4 resting breaths right here at center. And notice the energy and how you're feeling along the left side of the body, from the knee to the waist, maybe even into the rib cage. All right, let's start our ocean swallowing breath. Take the right hand over the right knee. And with that exhale, draw that knee toward the body, press into the left heel, and then give me that pelvic roll. Two more. All right, this is the last repetition. Just take both of those hands over the top of that knee and now draw. Oh, that knee as close to the body as you can. Ilias psoas. Ooh. And slowly release that leg down to the mat. Ooh. All right, release the energy out of the breath. Just soft, easy inhale, soft, silent exhale. Now notice what's going on. I'm feeling that all the way from my ankle to my waistband. All right, we're going to do 3 different rounds of Divipadapidam bridge, active bridge. The first one is going to be with our feet and toes and calves and knees tucked together, as though we were going to do a Baddha Konasana. Now, this is going to be awkward. It's going to be different. And if it's too much to have everything squeezed together, just give yourself a little room there. We're going to exhale all the air out of the lungs. We're going to do 6 rounds here. Then we're going to do 6 rounds as we normally would in our neutral position, right? And then we're going to do, 6 rounds in with a wide stance. So I'm going to line my feet up in parallel to the edge of the mat. All right, so 3 different rounds. Bringing those legs in, exhaling all the air out of the lungs. Arms are relaxed at your sides. Remember, in active bridge, we're just going to lift and press into the shoulder blades. Feel that engagement of the shoulder blade and tricep. Keep the weight off of the neck. Here we go. Remember, if you feel like you're running out of air or you're struggling with the length and balance of that breath, just pause and take a sip and continue on. We have 2 more. Someone's got to be feeling some heat in their low back right now. All right, release that energy. Take a few resting breaths as we move to our neutral position. So our heels are lined up with the glutes. There's about a fist width distance between the knees. Make sure they're not flopping out or in. And with the next inhale, let's rock it. You know why I'm struggling with my breath today? I forgot to inhale. Three more. That was a silly statement. I didn't take my asthma medication. That's a better, more clarifying statement. Two more. One more. And release. Oh, tell me someone's having a response. Just notice what's going on. All right, we're going to work out towards the edge of the mat. Now this is wide. It's going to feel awkward because your toes are pointed down towards the end, in parallel. You really have to control the flopping and the sagging of the knees, right? All right. Here we go. Two more. Last one. Oof. Move those feet into neutral position. Oh. And relax that breath. My hips, low back, glutes. Oh, I am on fire. All right, I was going to do something else, but we're going to work some, I'm going to throw in some windshield wiper sweeps here because, oh my goodness, we need it. Do you need it? I need it. All right. Oh, windshield wiper sweeps is actually on my plan. Look at me knowing what my plan's going to be before I do it. All right, we're going to work 6 to 8 reps, right? And then we will do 2 holds, 2 stays, and then we'll work some easy twisting. Is that what that is? All right, exhaling all the air out of the lungs to prepare. Inhale. And then exhale, take the twist. Or let's do a sweep. Let's call it a sweep. It's not really a twist. I'm going to move my arms into cactus position. All right, here's where we're going to move into our stay. So I'm inhaling. I'm going to head over to the first side. And now I'm just going to hang here. If you would like to deepen this, you can take that left leg over the top of the right leg. But I want to feel this extension and rotation in both sides evenly between both legs. So let's just breathe here. 4 deep breaths. Feeling some torque on my right knee. I've got some adductor tension. I'll have to work on the foam roller about that. All right, let's inhale up to center. And exhale over to the other side. And this is where we're going to hold our stay. 4 deep balanced breaths. And with the next inhale, come right on up to center. Relax the energy out of the breath. Move the feet into neutral. How are we doing? Holy Toledo. Why is Toledo holy? I don't know. All right, here I am going to throw in a figure four. We're going to do 4 rounds each side of figure four. Then we're going to work some Baddha Konasana. Oh, and then we'll do that. And then we'll do that one. Sweet. Wow. This is, except for the figure four, which is not in the flow, this is a pretty damn good flow. All right. I'm going to grab some water real quick, though, because all that deep breathing dries out the back of your throat. All right. Baddha, what are we doing? Figure four. So I'm going to go right side first. Tuck that right ankle over the top of the knee. Externally rotate, right, that leg. We're inhaling to prepare. Sorry, right arm is going to extend palm to the ceiling. Left hand is going to slide up and down the back of the left knee. Keep the right foot flexed. The left foot can do whatever it wants. So inhaling to prepare. Exhaling, drawing the fingers up behind the knee and taking that knee in toward your body. 2 more. And now we're holding right here. My right hand is open. I'm not, quote unquote, threading the needle. This is a figure four, and we're just taking 4 balanced breaths. And slowly releasing that to the mat. Uncross that leg and just hold here. 3 or 4 gentle breaths. Easy. All right, left arm opens, palms to the ceiling. Left leg's going to cross over the top of the right knee. Externally rotate that leg. Inhaling to prepare. And exhaling. 2 more. And this last repetition, then we're going to hold for our stay. So taking that knee up. And we're going to hold here and breathe. And release that leg. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Relax the breath. Notice where you're feeling that energetic release. So we're going to extend the left leg and float the right knee. And we're not going to do a full twist. I mean, although this is a twisting asana, we're just going to go to halfway. So if you just roll and take that leg out to parallel, that's it. And then we'll inhale and unwind. So we're going to do 6 of those, and then we're switching to the other side. Actually, yes, we'll work both sides, and then we'll shift into our next asana. So inhaling to prepare. Exhaling. Two more. And unwind, release. Make any adjustments on the mat that you need. When we work like that, we tend to wiggle and friction our way out of place. Right leg's going to extend. Left leg is going to float. Inhaling to prepare. And exhaling. Feeling it right there. We have to get into some twisting practice. Can you see how tight I am? Right, one more on this left side. I can't even keep my arm on the mat. And release. Make your adjustments. Take your resting breath. We're going to work some Apanasana. No, I lied. Let's do our Baddha Konasana, and then we'll do our asana. All right, so scooch those heels close up to the glutes. Squeeze the legs together. We're going to take this one where we peel open to the edge of the foot, right? Inhaling. Exhale, we press our low back into the mat. Press the waistband into the mat and squeeze the knees together. All right, here we go. We're going to do 4, 4, and 4, and then Apanasana. All right, we're moving our feet forward, little extension of the angle of the knee, and 4 here. And we'll move those feet longer, a little bit further away from the hips. Here we go. All right, we're going to bring knees up and in. Inhaling to center. Exhaling, drawing knees toward the body, a little tilt of the hips up toward the ceiling. And release the legs. All right, moving into final relaxation. So get yourself comfortable body temperature wise. Add a blanket, add a layer. I want you to notice where you need to be comfortable. Full Shavasana, legs extended, arms at your sides, palms up. That's traditional. You could put a pillow beneath your knees, roll a towel or a blanket underneath the back of your neck. Um, if you're gestating a human being fully and completely in your own autonomous will, and you have full access to reproductive rights, go ahead and lay on the side that you can lay on with a pillow between your knees, or get your body bolster out and throw your arm up over the side. Pulling our attention and awareness from the external, again, back to the internal. Pulling that attention and awareness All right. Sorry, I had to find my So we're going to pull our attention and awareness into the space and quality of our forehead. Smooth out all of the tiny little lines and nerves around the eyes and into the temples. Unclench the teeth. Let the tongue drop away from the roof of the mouth. Give your head a little shake of the shoulders, wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists. And let the upper body release into the mat. Notice the length of spine from the base of your neck down through the rib cage. A little tilt of the hips up, and then release, letting the torso take rest against the mat. Pull your attention and awareness down through the legs. Notice tension through the quads and the hamstrings. Flex the feet, wiggle the toes, roll the ankles, and then let the lower body take its rest. Pull that attention and awareness into the space and quality of your thinking and check in. There might be some things scratching at your awareness. Maybe it's the to-do list. Maybe you're thinking about that time in 7th grade. Or was it 6th grade? I don't know. You know, those things that you just can't let go. Play on a loop around and around your head. We want to slide all of those things off to the side, create a nice, clear, open space for ourselves, and anchor that into the breath. Pulling that attention and awareness into the movement of the breath, inhaling and exhaling. Pulling that attention and awareness out from the deep internal to the rest of the body. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists. Take some deep inhales and sighing exhales. Reach those arms out to the side. And then up over your head into that Y shape. Oh, getting a cramp. Bring a knee up. Give it a squeeze. Bring the other knee up. Give it a squeeze. Taking a rock side to side. Rolling from one hip across to the other. And then we're going to rock completely over to one side, resting our head on our arm for a moment. And then start to peel the upper body off the mat to come back into comfortable seated position. Whatever that looks like for you might be different than when you started. Taking a scan of the body, checking in, state and quality of the physical form. Noticing how you feel on this end of the practice. Come on, love your girl. Moving that attention and awareness into the state and quality of your breathing, and notice, oh, how those lungs feel. And finally, checking in with the state and quality of your thinking. I don't know where you're going or what you've got for the rest of the day. Maybe you're watching this and heading straight to bed. Brilliant plan. Maybe some of us have to get our day started. So just be mindful about what you're giving priority access to your time and your attention. And let's release, practice blinking eyes open. Taking a moment to honor your body for doing what you asked it to do today and all the hard work it does to get you from one end of the week to the other. Acknowledge that some days are easy and some days are not. And the world is weird. Grace and kindness, people. Grace and kindness. That's... I can't believe that we have to say this in America in the 21st century. Totalitarianism is bad. Authoritarianism is bad. Fascism is bad. And grace and kindness and wokeness and offering other people the opportunities to live their best lives is not fascism, you fuckers. Oh, sorry. Ciao.